Hey now, I was early a few times in a row, so I have to go back to being my boomer mode and be late. I mean, what can I say? This is just something that has to happen. And wow, there's actually a lot of you here for a Wednesday night. Fuck yeah, man, you guys are awesome. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's real boomer hours, y'all. Yeah, it is. It is. I'm sorry. I had to be a boomer. I had to check a bunch of things. I had to make sure my damn stream key was correct again. I checked the volume of my mic. That was pretty cool too. Whoa, man, that was you guys. If you guys were here yesterday, had a nice like 4 hour long stream last night. That was fun. So on that topic, I was trying to get that uploaded today. I was trying to upload it to my stream backup channel, and it was just taking its sweet time. And I thought, I'm just going to have to kill it. I know it was literally like 5 minutes away from being done, but I can't be uploading that and streaming at the same time. Things ain't going to end well. Yeah, better late than pregnant. That's true, man. If that's the reason you're late, ooh, man, you got something coming for you. Yeah, hello from Straya. Hey, man, hopefully you guys got your little fire issues under control, because that looked like it was pretty horrible. So there you go. There's your dragon this time around. This time it's from danbooru, but I can't link it directly. I mean, you guys know this is Kiryu Coco, by the way. I'm sure everyone recognizes these nice not virtual YouTubers at this point if it's on HoloLive. But man, YouTube's they've really been riding my ass when it comes to links. So if I link to something that may have adult content anywhere on it, although for whatever reason Twitter and Instagram and them get a pass, but anything else, and they just come and ride my fucking ass, man. I guess I shouldn't be too surprised. I shouldn't be surprised at all. That's just how YouTube works. So, yeah, I know where you can, or I let you know where you can find it. I let you know what kind of search you can use. It's all good, man. That's all good. Oh, man. So, I got a little bit of sleep last night. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to get started. Today, surprisingly, was actually a very good day, at least at work, given how horrible Tuesday was, how horrible yesterday was. Today, ooh, got to actually relax. Now I'm actually glad to be sitting here chatting with you guys right now. Oh, shit. Got a lot to catch up on already. So, Saipoth, thank you for the 2. Professionals not only want to destroy their jobs, but got good at it through love, hard work, and practice. Unlike games journalists and mainstream comic employees that failed into something they obviously hate everything about and want to destroy. Well, that does seem to be the... what was it? That does seem to be the pattern, huh? You got a bunch of losers that failed into what they're doing now. And now, for example, games journalists. How many of them actually wanted to be games journalists? I don't think any of them really did. They wanted to be mainstream journalists, and none of the mainstream outlets want them, so they failed into games journalism. Those are the only ones that let them in. That's the only place that wanted them. So unfortunately, we have to deal with those assholes. And Bend Over, thank you for the 15. The government stealing money, say it isn't so. Yeah, this time it's not through taxes either. That's the funny part. But yeah, we'll get into that. That's actually going to be the first story. Undecided and thank you for the 5. Now, coming from the Melody stream while discussing Yu-Gi-Oh! In her very shaken state, yelled the card name Blue Eyes White Tiger instead of the real name. Was it Blue Peps Honky Dragon? Yeah, that is a pretty bad mistake right there, yeah. Also, I have too many streams to watch every day. It's tough on my wallet. Whew, yeah, I can imagine how that would be, man. That's, I watch a bunch too, but, I mean, there have been some days where I let my own super chatting go out of control. It's like, oh, hey, Ethan's streaming. I'm going to have to send him a few. Oh, hey, Cecil's streaming. Oh, hey, Tug's streaming. Hey, Flash is on too. And then by the end of the evening, I realized, like, did I just spend like $150 total? Yeah, you got to watch yourself. So that's good. And Good Legend, thank you for the 20. Hey, RG, it's time for some fucking Clown World, and holy shit, that dragon is hot as hell. Yes, she is. This is why virtual girls are taking over. All you got to do is rig yourself up to some motion capturing and face rig technology, and even I could look that hot. I mean, I can't do much about the voice, But I could look like this in the videos. That is possible. Definitely something I could do. Yeah, was it got to drink that milk to stay strong? Oh, yeah, Razor. See, so Razor Fist is streaming right now, but that's just because they're doing another one of the Democratic debates, or I should say, another pro-Trump advertisement tonight. So he's going to be ripping that apart. So that's what's going on. That's why he's streaming at the moment. And Caribbean Wolf, thank you for the 2. Reed's title. So nothing's new then. Yeah, that's exactly right. There is nothing new. The government's just stealing money. And Caribbean Wolf, thank you for another 5. Unrelated, but I had to hard reboot my piss poor last night. Well, it is a Sony product. I mean, but then again, at the very beginning of the generation, they were not that bad. But let's get into something here. A different type of Blade Devil fan art. So Mr. Momobot, of all things, he decided to draw the bugs. So yeah, buggy beasties from the upcoming Blade Devil comic by Rage Gold Eagle and Toxic Man Baby. I fucked up my own name. The Indiegogo campaign set to launch on March 1st. So I didn't trace them, by the way. I mean, I did with my eyeballs. So there you go. He of all the things to do fan art of, he picked probably the most unlikely ones I could have imagined. Yeah, it's the bugs. That's right. It's the demon bugs, and they're not even looted either. Although they're not wearing any clothes. I guess you could look at it that way. But man, this dude, by the way, he's the one that made the sculpture of Ashiara. That was pretty good, man. That was very well played. So going from sculpting Ashiara to making bugs. Hey, whatever floats your boat. Different people like different things. Yeah, not anime. Yeah, see? Inquisitor Jack, thank you for the 10. The crossbow and gun idea exists. Check out 40k Condemner bolt gun. Also planning to replace my smoke damage blankets as soon as I get the insurance check with Blade Devil ones. Have a great night. Oh, dude, we have 3 options up right now. Probably going to be more coming soon. It's going to be some good shit, man. But that's great. I mean, I'm glad you're going to get those. I have all 3 of them myself. They're actually pretty huge. They're pretty huge. Actually, fuck, this would be the perfect time to pull it up. Somebody posted their pictures of that. Yeah, Draz Darkside here. Okay, I don't think... Actually, I don't give a shit. Even if there was anything doxable in this photo, it's all over Twitter. So he posted this to Twitter. So, I mean, I don't think there's any license plate or anything. But yeah, that's his car. Yeah, that's his car. And these are the 2 blankets right there. I guess he didn't get... Yeah, I got the Una one and the Ashiara Tentacle one, but not the regular white Ashiara one. But you could kind of get a feel for the size right there. And yeah, the tops, like maybe a quarter of it is cut off right there. So yeah, that's his car, and these are the blankets. They're decently sized. They are, man. Got some good stuff. So yeah, definitely the 2 chicks are sized a bit bigger than they would be in real life. But hey, that just means you got more titties to rest your head on. That's all a good thing. That's all a good thing, yeah. Nice curtains, yep. See, these are the kind of huge curtains you could put up, with the good bits face. Imagine the tentacle one, using that as a curtain so all your neighbors can see it. Oh, and hey, Ryan Jill is uploading some fan art now. Perfect. I'm going to have to check out the uncensored version on Pixiv off stream, of course. I cannot wait to see some of that. Stained them already. That's true, yeah. I mean, no, this is really just the lighting. And also, these are fleece blankets. So, yeah, the fibers, if they're a little bit off, I mean, you got to lay them, you got to kind of pet them down and lay them down so you could get the full image, the full color. Because sometimes when they get out of whack, you can kind of see because both of these blankets are really white. If you flip them over on the other side, it's white. But, yeah, that's kind of what you see here. In between the fibers, you can see some of the white coming through. But if you guys have handled these before, you know exactly what to expect. So that shouldn't be any surprise. And Alt-Shift-M, thank you for the 5. I finally have time for a stream now that I was laid off. Aw, dude, man, now that fucking sucks. As someone who's been laid off a few times, I can feel your pain, man. And don't worry, I'm not going to hold it against you if you don't throw a bunch of shekels my way. I mean, if you're unemployed right now, hold on to every little bit you can until you get another job. Because if you're lucky, it's going to be before your unemployment runs out. But that's the thing that fucking sucks about unemployment too. If they paid you any severance or any vacation pay, then that counts as regular pay for when your unemployment starts. And then you have to go a week with nothing, and then your unemployment starts. So, yeah, definitely save up everything you can, man, and good luck. Oh, and the Pelican Fly. They do, huh? Damn, 69.69. Fucking perfect. Dude, man, thank you for that. That amount is perfect in every way right there, man. So, damn boomer, take my shekels. Okay, fine, I'll take them. All right, I guess I got them now. Well, I don't got them now. I'm not going to get them until the end of March, actually. So that's how Google works, by the way, or at least YouTube. Or actually, not even that. It's Google AdSense, because YouTube uses Google AdSense. So all the money for 1 month you get in like the last third of the next month. And if you happen to get your channel banned in the meantime, then, well, yeah, they're just going to keep it. I mean, there was a bunch of drama around that. That was some good stuff. Oh, nice. Okay, perfect timing there, Angel. I was just about to move on. Absolutely perfect. So, boom. Who wants to get drunk with Ashiara? And you can follow the Pixiv link. So there, that's all you're going to be able to see right now. Yeah, if you want to see the full goods, you're going to have to go to Pixiv and take a look, because YouTube is going to kick my ass if I showed it here. Or at the very least, they're going to kick me off the site completely, which would be a minor inconvenience to me right now, especially since we're about to launch Blade Devil. Yeah, that would be that would kind of really, really suck. I would not like that at all. But man, I'm looking at it off screen though. This one's pretty good. Got some good titties going on this one. Yeah. You guys know, I know you want to see that. Got some all right. So now that that's up, yeah. Oh, what's that saying? No, peek at Pixiv. Yeah, I can't do that here. Yeah, I can't do that on stream, or YouTube's just gonna. Or actually, I don't think even YouTube cares. So people correctly point out that there's videos out there that show all sorts of nudity and sex and whatnot, and YouTube doesn't take them down. But that's just because those are on channels that have like 30 views total, and nobody reported them yet. That's what this is. That's what all this is about. It's all about who gets reported. And the more people you have watching your channel, the higher the likelihood that someone's going to report you for whatever bullshit reason. And that's what YouTube acts on, so I can't be showing any titties on my channel. There are other channels that can, because they're small and nobody reports them. Damn, but I can't. Oh, and Don Creep, thank you for the $3. I don't see any comments there, but I mean, I got the message with the shekels, so much appreciate that. And refreshing this right here again. Oh, damn. Oh, there's a bunch. Yeah, Cameron Ellen, thank you for the 5. Just heard that New Species Reviews got canceled on Sun TV. Time to set sail for the 7 seas. Well, see, that's no big loss, because all of them, except for ATX, censor the broadcast anyway. Now, what I hope happens is Interspecies Reviewers ends up being such a huge financial boost to them that they realize they don't need traditional broadcast television. That's what I hope happens. So this could actually be the death of television. They're the ones that are like, oh, we're going to take what everyone wants to see and not show it to them. And everyone's like, okay, we're going to go to places that show it, though. Yeah. And Don Stark, thank you for the 2. You could sound like her, too. Voice mods are old hat. I guess maybe I could if I got a better one. I mean, I just know, through the internet, that should be definitely possible, yeah. I know I have a few voice changers that are supposed to work in person, but the problem is you could hear both me speaking and the voice changer going off at the same time. But if it's through the internet anyway, that wouldn't be a problem, would it? And Tyler Preston, thank you for the 2. Blade Devil, exterminate the Renfamices. Oh, that's what's gonna happen. That's what we're going for, man. Blade Devil's gonna be exterminating the Renfremice, the Renfremouses, Renfremeses, whatever you call them. So speaking of Blade Devil, yeah, launching in 11 days now, but this one was from yesterday. So got a nice little view of that side backstory was showing off. Yeah, I'm keeping everybody up to date on the Twators. Yeah, Ryan Gill's got it. Now, when it comes to NHPC's reviewers, you don't need anyone but ATX. Now, if ATX dropped the broadcast, that's when you get worried. That's when you're like, oh, fuck. Now this is serious. Now that ATX has dropped it, then it's in some legit danger. Unless some streaming services pick it up or whatever. But, nah, for now, it's fine. ATX is the only one we need. And not just because ATX is the one that all the fan subbers use as the base, because they know their shit. Which is pretty damn good, pretty damn good. And then the last little panel, I mean, I showed this entire page actually on stream before. If you guys were there when this page got finished, oh yeah, don't want to miss it. So, oh yeah, let's talk a little bit about what's going on in comics right now. So DC is apparently on the chopping block. We've known that for a little while, but at this point, I believe even they're worried. Even DC is like, okay, if this doesn't work, if our woke reboot of the DC universe doesn't work, DC Comics is gone. And when DC Comics is gone, that's like what? Half of the inventory for comic shops? And what are they going to do without half their inventory? You think they're going to replace it with awesome shit like Blade Devil? Probably not. They're probably just going to go broke. So DC may soon be coming to an end, and Marvel is probably right behind them. But don't worry, you still got 80 years of material if you like their stuff. But if you want new stuff, that's what Blade Devil's for. It's on the way. Launching the campaign in less than 2 weeks now. Holy fucking shit. That doesn't even feel real anymore. Less than 2 fucking weeks. Now I just gotta not fuck. See, I gotta make sure I don't pull a conservative. And for what I mean by that is this has happened in so many different ways. Most recently, it was actually, it was not this most recent election in the UK, but the one before it, where the Conservatives were pretty much looking like they were going to win by as much of a landslide as they did this last time. But then they decided, yeah, you know, all I have to do is not fuck up, and this election is mine. So let's fuck up. So that's what I hope I don't do, man. Like at the last second, I don't want to do like what the Conservatives do and just seize defeat from the jaws of victory. That would be tragic. Yeah, oh, Road, you got me a good point. It'd be great if comic shops started stocking and selling indie projects. Yeah. Now, you see, if that started happening, at first, it would be a lot more expensive. But I can tell you this, like, right the fuck now. That we'd be able to sell Blade Devil at a much, much cheaper rate if we were moving like 6 figures of units of this book. Yeah, it's not just that the cost of printing would go down, but also the volume would mean that we got more profit in general, so we could actually put a lot of that back in as well. Or we could just cut from it, rather. Like, say, if I needed $30,000 to live off of, and I got I could get that by selling, you know, a couple hundred at $25. But if I was selling 100,000 of them, I could greatly cut that price. So, yeah, I mean, if comic shops wants to get in on this, if the wider market wants to get in, yeah, it's gonna be more expensive at first. But if we start moving massive amounts of units, the price is going to go down. That's just, it's economies of scale. That's how that shit works. So yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to that. Man, got me some good shit going on. Alrighty. Holy shit, there's a lot. Man, you guys are nice as fuck to me today. Cunio Coolio, thank you for the 10. I was going to donate $5, but now I'm donating 10 because I started a new job to make up for the other guy that got laid off. Expect more when the Blade Devil Indiegogo comes out. Hail RGE. Well, hail to you too, man. Thank you for them shekels. And definitely, if you guys are worried you may not have enough by the time the campaign launches, there's going to be a cheaper digital tier with no shipping, none of that crap. So you'll be fine there. But yeah, I mean, just hold off for that. That's fine. That would be great. Now, if you want to give me $25, I'll get a lot more of it than if you spent $25 on the comic. But I want to get Blade Devil out there to everybody. That's more important right now. But man, Air Shogun, thank you for the 5. I know you said save my money, but I got laid off too. As a fellow programmer, what do you recommend when working coding gigs? Since I'm used to working for big companies, tech is cutthroat as fuck. There's no such thing as job security, and Upwork sucks ass. Well, you're absolutely right about that, but I don't know. See, the first tech job I had, I was actually right out of college because I went to one of those college career fairs and I actually got a call back. Then I got laid off, and then my next job, I was just doing the bare minimum to keep unemployment, which was 5 applications a week. And just apply to the weirdest, smallest, most obscure companies. I mean, that's kind of what I did. I went from a giant corporation to a very small, almost startup, and I got that job. They seemed to like me on the interview. Now that worked pretty well. And then this last time when I got laid off from that job, this current one I have, that one I actually got via connections because I knew somebody there, and they happened to have an opening and recommended me. So that's probably the most important, honestly. It's like they say in the military, right? It's not, well, the main saying is it's not what you know, it's who you know. But then, like they say in the military, it's not who you know, it's who you blow. But I don't think you want to go that far. But yeah, it's all connections. It's all about who you know. Unfortunately, we're not hiring at all right now. Otherwise, I may have recommended you, but... I guess that's the disadvantage of a tiny company, though. Yeah, they're not hiring very often, but man, good luck. Hopefully you'll be fine, man. And as a coder, you can probably do contract work too. I mean, there's always people looking to hire coders for gigs, basically. So that could keep you going until you get a stable job, if nothing else. Eric the Red, thank you for the 3. I always imagine a Blade Devil game being like a Mana game. The art style reminds me of Legend of Mana, a really underappreciated game. Well, yeah, I mean, Legend of Mana also used Akira Toriyama's style, right? Just like Dragon Quest. So that makes sense. It makes sense how you'd see the resemblance. Cool, and Bend Over, thank you for the 10. That's why I donate to Streamlabs. You get the money sooner. Now, that's true. See, with Streamlabs... if you get $2 into Streamlabs, you can just request a payout whenever. I don't think they have a minimum amount. I usually try to keep a couple $100 in my Streamlabs in case somebody does a chargeback. But yeah, I mean, you don't have to. You can just keep pulling from it whenever the hell you want. And Streamlabs is good for that. And you get to keep more money. Ah, shit. Oh, damn. And GeoPrime2814, thank you for the 20. RG, have you heard about the Virginian citizen who showed up at the home of a politician armed with a shotgun? The cowardly politician called the cops and said the guy was threatening him with an assault rifle. No, that's a typical politician right there, yeah. Yeah, that's right, man. Now, you see, these politicians, by the way, they're usually the ones that are ginning up riots and protests at other places. So how about if a bunch of just law-abiding gun owners keep showing up to these politicians' house and just open carry and hang out in front of their houses, not doing anything threatening, just hang out there. It's peaceful assembly. These politicians keep calling for other people to do that to their opponents, right? So, yeah, we got to do that to them as well. Hey, Rojigami, thank you for the 349 there. Feeling sad, PC broke today, need a replacement. Oh, fuck, This is not a good time. This is not a good time, man. Because all that coronavirus shit going on, dude, buy a replacement as fast as possible. Because unless they get that damn coronavirus under control, the electronics shortage is just going to keep getting worse, man. But damn, yeah, I feel you. I've had PCs die on me. It's not fun. So hopefully you could get back up soon enough. Corrupt Angel, thank you for the 5. I'm sick and have been bedridden all day, so this stream came at a great time. I've been bored out of my mind. Oh. Well, I'm glad I could at least be there for you there. So, let me guess. You're probably at the point where you've already slept as much as your body's willing to let you sleep, so you're tired and you feel like shit, but you can't fall asleep anymore, so you're stuck listening to my stupid ass. Yeah, that's an interesting position to be in, but man, hope you get better soon. Oh yeah, Toxic Man, maybe good point. Cops, come defend me with guns. Yeah, all these anti-gun politicians, they tend to do that. That's right. Unknown Existence, thank you for the 5. It's been 1 year since I started watching your content. Here's some shekels for all the entertainment you've given me. Well, much appreciated. That's actually the same way I treated mobile games, actually, or free-to-play games in general. If I play a free-to-play game for like 80, 100 hours, I'll drop $60 on them. Now, this free-to-play game has kept me entertained longer than some paid games. I think it's worth at least $60. Sometimes I don't even fucking spend it on anything. It's just, I just want to, 80, 100 hours, I think it's worth $60. I'll just give it to them. Oh, man. Oh, cool. So, Roger Gum already ordered a new one. That is good, man. Hopefully it actually shows up. Because you may be one of the few people with a PC here soon. And the Pilkin Fly, thank you for the 420. Okay, so first the 69, now the 420. Perfect. 2 weeks to launch. Nice, yeah. Yeah, March 1st, which is conveniently a Sunday. At least in my time zone, it's a Sunday. So, yeah, I'm going to be probably going to start streaming around 2 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to try like at least 12 hours. I'm going to be trying for a long-ass time. And, yeah, Toxic Man Baby's trying to fucking jinx us right now. So, yeah, it sure would suck if my PC decided to get wrecked just as we're trying to finish Blade Devil. Yeah, keep saying shit like that. Man, you're gonna have to come into the office late at night and use their computers to finish, I guess. Yeah, that would be kind of tragic there. Caribbean Wolf, thank you for the 5. Job security is related to skill, experience, and market saturation. Yeah, exactly. And also, how in demand you are. Yeah, I guess that would be market saturation. If you're good and well known enough that people try to headhunt you, you never have a problem finding work. But getting to that point, that's the hard part. Okay, and what was that? Deadly Raver, thank you the 5. Barrel Show to take me, bet me that Tarana Burke, founder of Pound Me Too, would get married this year. I laughed, I lost. # Barrel Show to called it. Well, he knows everything, man. He does. He's got the skills. Man, just jinxing the freaking computers, man. Don't do that. This shit is serious business, man. Ooh, and Dark Painter, thank you for the 5. It's truly baffling that even in the face of their doom, these comic book companies refuse to drop their wokeness. No, not only is DC refusing to drop their wokeness, they're betting the future of the whole company on it. Oh, if this fails, AT&T is going to put us out of business. So what do we do to ensure we succeed? Oh, let's further keep throwing away all the good content people love from us and go woke. Yeah, it's not going to end well. They're guaranteed to be out of business soon. And Barova, thank you for the 5. I don't know if this was mentioned on your stream or not, but Linda relaunched the English localization campaign on Kickstarter, just FYI. Okay, yeah, there's actually a few, oh man, what was it, Venus Blood Frontier was one, that if you guys got the Steam version instead of the uncensored Just USA version, whew, man, too bad it's too late to change your mind now. And some lazy clown, thank you the 5. Blade Devil hentai game, pleasure bot, and branded condoms. Man, if it really takes off, now, dude, I'm going to go like full-blown yogurt. Just merchandising, just merchandising all over the place. We're going to have Blade Devil the Flamethrower if we can get away with it. And Don Creep, thank you for the 3. My old PC died, so I got my new one. And while it was being built, I got the old one fixed. So I got 2 for now. Oh, dude, you hold on to them and then maybe sell your old one. Yeah, sell your old one. And right when they become rare and expensive. There you go. Now that's an insurance policy right there. Oh god. Now he's trying to jinx it in himself, not just the computer. Like, dang, would suck if an anvil dropped on my head just as we're finishing up with Blade Devil. Whew. Well, if you got enough protection on your armor, you'd be able to survive as long as the anvil didn't fall from a high enough distance. Oh, and Ken and Quest, thanks for the lead. 1337. Remember when the internet was the new Wild West? Pepperidge Farm remembers. I know, those are the good days. Remember the days when 100 people could be sitting around having a good time and some snowflake walks in and shrieks that they're offended and all 100 people would just laugh that fucker off the internet and go back to having fun? Yeah, in current year, 100 people are having fun, one offended snowflake shows up, and now those 100 people aren't allowed to have fun anymore because Princess is offended. I miss the old days. Yeah, Blade Devil the cereal. Blade Devil chairs and late clocks. Yeah, we're going to have to do a watch at least. That would be good. Oh, Mikey 90, thank you for the 5. Will the sequel book be called Blade Double Devil? Oh, no. We actually got an idea for what the next one's going to be called. And it's going to, that one's, man, it's just going to keep getting better, man. If you guys like what you see in this one, it's just, now that I think about it, I think the second book is going to be like just 100% action. Man, that's going to be good. Yeah, there may be a few panels here and there, in between the action, but yeah, it's one action scene to another. All the good stuff. At least the way I have it planned out now. Oh, and Core Sonic 23, thank you for the 5. I think woke Hollywood will die first thanks to Sonic the movie, the movie's message, and then the mainstream media will be next. Yeah, I mean, fucking Paramount is making bank right now off of Sonic. I hope they're learning their lesson. I really do, man. Oh, so speaking of that, I think they've also reached out to Doug TenNapel about possibly making an Earthworm Jim movie. Man, that would be big. That'd be big. But okay, let's get started here. Government stealing shekels. Let's talk about that. So here in the U.S., we have this thing called civil asset forfeiture. Let's get a look at how fucking awesome it is. DEA seized a woman's bag of cash at an airport, and it was her dad's life savings. So at New York, a federal law enforcement agency that confiscated a retired Pennsylvania man's life savings will not return it, even though he is neither accused nor suspected of a crime. He was just someone who kept his cash in a box rather than a bank. Now this, by the way, is the result of those bullshit laws that I think the excuse they used to implement this is to fight, it's like drug gangs, sex trafficking. So if you're carrying around more than a couple $1,000s of cash, they just automatically assume you're using it for nefarious purposes. And if they seize the money and it's proven you weren't doing anything bad with it, they can still keep it. Because America, the land of the free, where we have laws, it's in the Constitution that no unreasonable search and seizure. Yeah, here you go. What the Drug Enforcement Administration did is legal. Yeah, it's called civil asset forfeiture. But a lawsuit begs to differ. This is how the agents seized $82,373 that belonged to Terry Rowland, 79, of Pittsburgh, and why he and his daughter are now suing the feds to get the cash back. Yeah, we need more of this. For many years, Rowland, a retired railroad engineer, socked away his money in his basement, just like his parents did. Having been through the Great Depression, they were suspect of banks. Yeah, that's probably a very, very good mindset to have. And this was just a habit that carried through to my father. The last year, Rowland moved out of his family's home and into an apartment. He didn't feel comfortable with that much cash laying around, so he asked his daughter, who was visiting him in August, to deposit the cash in a joint account. Between my grandparents and my father, they set aside over $80,000. Brown said, we were going to utilize the money to have my dad receive some oral care that he is in dire need of and also some truck repairs. Brown said she didn't have the time to go to a bank in Pittsburgh before catching a Monday morning flight to Boston. She said she checked online to confirm that she could carry that much cash onto a domestic commercial flight. Yes, it's legal, but could raise eyebrows. And it did. Yeah, this is one of the things you learn real quick in America. It's all about the money. Yeah, America's the only country in the world with a citizenship tax, you know. They do have a limit, but if you make over a certain amount of money overseas, for some reason you have to pay America taxes. It's fucking pathetic. This entire country is just built around taking people's money. And then they get so butthurt when people try to take their money elsewhere, too. So the Institute for Justice, which filed a lawsuit against the DEA and the TSA on Rollin and Brown's behalf, said that what happened next is unfair and unconstitutional. Well, so are obscenity laws, but they're still on the books. The TSA officers at Pittsburgh International Airport pulled her aside so that a state trooper could question her about the cash, according to the Institute for Justice. The trooper came and asked me a bunch of questions. What are you doing with the money? Where are you taking it? Where did it come from? The police eventually let her proceed through the gate with a carry-on bag full of cash. But later, the same trooper and agent stopped her before she could board her flight. The agent questioned Brown and then asked to speak to her father on the phone. Yeah, and again, they rob citizens like this. And they use but my sex trafficking, my drug gangs. What if they're moving money? We have to fuck everyone else over because a criminal might use cash. That's the U.S. government in a nutshell. It's all about control. That's all it is. They want full control over everybody. And why do you resist? Why do you not want the government to have full control of your life? Are you hiding something? Are you a criminal? Yeah, just something to think about right there, huh? So he has me dial my father, who was awakened and quite confused and upset, and he answered the questions the agent gave him, yet after the call, he wasn't satisfied. So look at that. They're harassing a fucking almost 80-year-old man out of his life savings. That's, again, typical America. He turned around and said, your answers don't match. I'm seizing the cash. I was the last person on the plane with everyone staring at me. That was August 26th of current year -1. In mid-October, the DEA informed Brown and Rollin that the agency would be permanently seizing the cash under its asset forfeiture program. Yeah, if they can't get the funding they want via taxes, they literally steal the money from people like this. This happens on a daily basis in this country. I mean, regular town police can do this too, you know. If they pull a fucking traffic stop, if they pull you over and you got like $3,000 of cash on you, oh, I'm going to take that under suspicion you may be involved in illegal activity. Oh, it turns out you weren't involved in illegal activity, but fuck you, I'm keeping the money anyway, bitch. America. My father and his father before him worked very hard for this money, Brown said, and the fact that someone can put their hand into my pocket and just take it without cause is insulting to me as an American. Well, I'm glad you noticed now, but what do you think taxes are? Man, but this is even worse. So this is how the DEA describes the program on its website. Asset forfeiture is a... See, look at this shit. Yeah, exactly what I said. Asset forfeiture is a tool in our country's battle against drug abuse, helping to shut down pill mills and stop rogue doctors and pharmacists, as well as dealers. Forfeiture, particularly civil forfeiture, is very effective against drug crimes committed for profit. Yeah. Why are you against the government just stealing your money? Why are you against the battle against drugs, huh? Do you support drug dealers? Man, you're evil, aren't you? However, neither Rollin nor Brown are suspected of being drug dealers. In civil forfeiture, the DEA makes a claim against the money itself, not the purported owners. A criminal case and conviction aren't required. Yeah, if they were serious about this, if this was really for our benefit, then they would require an actual criminal case. But they don't. The fact that they have the law written in such a way that they can just steal your money and keep it even after it's found that you did nothing wrong? This law exists solely for the purpose of them stealing your fucking money. If it really was about fighting the drug abuse and drug gangs, they'd give it back if it was determined that you weren't involved in that. This is literally just a cash grab by the government. That's all it's ever been. So don't listen to them when they try this guilt trip. Like, oh, do you support the drug gangs then? No, we just don't want you stealing our fucking money. So no one has been charged with a crime and they still have our money. The Institute for Justice filed the lawsuit against the DEA and TSA on January 15th. It isn't just about getting back the $82,373. The lawmakers are seeking class action status for the lawsuit to apply to other travelers who have gone through the same thing. Yeah, I mean, at this point, they need to pay back triple. They need to pay back triple this just so they learn not to do this shit again. Dan Albin, a Institute of Justice senior attorney, said in a statement that boarding a plane doesn't mean you give up your constitutional rights. Flying with any amount of cash is completely legal, but once again we see government agents treating American citizens like criminals, even after they've been, proven innocent, funny enough. It's time for the TSA and federal law enforcement to stop seizing cash from travelers simply because the government considers certain amounts of cash suspicious. Now, that's just the excuse they use. It really is just an excuse for them to steal your money. That's it. So they argue that the government shouldn't be able to confiscate someone's money without probable cause and later keep it without a related criminal conviction. Now that's the big one right there. At the very least, if you let them take it as a precaution, as soon as it's discovered that you're not a criminal, they need to give it back right the fuck there. It also says the TSA, which is responsible for airline security, exceeded its legal authority by seizing cash, which poses no threats to air travel. Good fucking point. Why is the TSA seizing cash? What's that have to do with airline safety? In a separate but almost identically worded emails to Fox 5 New York, spokespersons from the DEA and TSA said their respective agencies do not comment on ongoing and pending litigation as a matter of policy. Yeah, spread this around, guys. Spread this shit around and hold their fucking feet to the fire. Because there've been cases of this before where they stole someone's money and refused to give it back. But after enough negative publicity, they just kind of silently just conceded and gave the money back. Yeah, we need massive fucking outrage against these fucking criminals. I'm shocked that the government is able to do this, and I would be surprised if any other American knows that when you walk into a domestic airport, that when you have what you have in your possession can be taken without cause. I'm fighting so that other Americans don't have to go through what my father and I have gone through. Yeah, it's not just at the airport. Keep that in mind. In your car. If the cops are investigating your house for any reason and they find like $10,000, they can take it then too. It doesn't have to be just the fucking airport. They can literally steal your shit whenever the fuck they want. That's what makes this really scary. All right. I'm going to get caught up on some shekels here. And then we actually, if you think that's all, no, we got another government stealing people's money story. Yeah. Again, it's almost a daily occurrence, if not daily, here in the U.S. It's really, it's fucking great, man. It's awesome living in the land of the free. Yeah, it is fucking awesome. Oh, and Gun the Legend, thank you for another 20. And not surprised with New York, considering that a candidate is running as a Democrat and wanting to ban the Second Amendment. Wouldn't surprise me if he takes away the First Amendment. Well, actually, dude, that's you hit on a very good point, funny enough. Because getting rid of the Second Amendment is the first step to getting rid of the First Amendment. Because if you don't have the Second Amendment, how are you going to defend the First, or the Third, or the Fourth, or any of the others? Yeah, that's why the Second has to go first. And Cuneo Coolio, thank you for another 10. Kind of ticked about the Sonic movie's shilling of Olive Garden. Really? Well, Olive Garden probably was a sponsor, I guess. They funded it, I bet. Not for the shilling itself, but for not shilling for a restaurant that shares the name of the title character that serves chili dogs. Oh, fire the producer, hire me, I'll rectify that error. Oh, okay, so that's what you meant. Oh, yeah, you wanted them to shill it. I still haven't seen the movie. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna wait until the theaters aren't sold out. But yeah, that sounds cool. And Jackson Saramit, thank you for the 2. Blade Devil with backstory so tight that dem cheeks whistle in stride. Oh yeah. And plot so good you'll bounce to the heavens where Jeebus could use a buddy to watch anime and talk lolly with. Hey, that sounds like a damn good time right there, to be honest with you. Man, oh man, Toxic Man Baby again. Dang, I sure hope the cops don't confiscate all the Blade Devil files before we can print it. Yeah, it would kind of suck if somebody didn't send me the backups right before that happened. I mean, mildly inconvenient right there. Man. Ah, shit. Yeah, freedom is taxes. Yeah, that's right. That's some 1984 shit. Oh, and Bubblegum Anzu, thank you for the 5. Speaking of dying PCs, hard drive had a heart attack, took 30 minutes to get working. Thought I lost Butterfly Una, so updated a little late. Riding till work, bonus in 3 weeks for new SSD. Sweating buckets so I don't lose everything. Oh, dude. Back everything. Oh, no, this is the one time a cloud storage service would actually be useful. Encrypt it first and back everything up online, and don't turn off your computer either at this point, because if that hard drive goes down, it may not come up again. Yeah, it's any minute now is going to be its last fucking moments in this plane of existence. Gotta be real fucking careful with that shit. Okay. All right, so, and then Albine Fox, thank you for the 5. I hope it takes time for the PCs to become rare. I need to wait until after May so I can see if my client will pay me or if I'll be $3,000 in the red. Ooh. Yeah, that if you're a contractor especially, it does suck when you run into some of those people that don't pay. And yet they can somehow afford lawyers if you give them a bad review on Yelp or something to warn other people that these fuckers don't pay. And they can afford to pay a lawyer way more than they should have paid you. It's really funny how that works. And Yarnigi, thank you for the 5. The 2 things that are certain in life, death and taxes. Death is preferable. Well, you're going to deal with both. iStar100, thank you for the 5. The Bill of Rights or a Constitution only matter if we fight for it, but we cower and don't stand up because it's not my problem. F the USA. Yeah, well, it's either 2 things. It's either not my problem, the not the hill to die on bullshit, or just the fact that people have been indoctrinated into being passive and just taking it up the ass and asking for more. They, if we resist, we'll be the bad guys. They legitimately believe that. They're so cucked. And of course, Arm23, thank you for the 2. I would love if we could get rid of taxes. Now, see, I support some taxes. I mean, because we do need to keep up our military, for example. But tax increases should be voted on by the public. And I got into an argument with a socialist before about that. It's like, who would voluntarily vote to raise their own taxes? Well, it's happened before. And the trick is, if you want people to vote for a tax increase, it has to come with accountability. I say if the tax increase is for the roads, for example, then you need to show the documents that prove all that money went to the roads and not into some slush fund that got taken by something else. But they're not willing to do that, probably because all these increases are never going to go for what was intended. And then Forever Epicness, thank you for the 5. Paying back triple just means robbing the general public to pay for the amount beyond what they stole. These agencies shouldn't even exist. That's true, actually. The vast majority of government agencies should not exist. We could save so much fucking money. AKK, thank you for the 5. My favorite is when they steal stuff like rare currency worth tons, then give back the face value of the money instead of the actual money. Oh yeah, that's another way they just steal shit from you, and then they sell that for way more and make a profit. Yep. And Monkey90, thank you for the 5. No, a few things are certain in life. Death, taxes, and Hollywood destroying your childhood. Well, I'll tell you this now. You can avoid that last one by not giving a fuck about Hollywood. I don't care what Hollywood does anymore. I'm not watching that garbage. So yeah, back to the government thieves. Government agent sees $181,500 in cash at airport and won't give it back. This one's newer than that last one. A Florida trucking company is suing 2 federal agencies, saying agents seized almost $200,000 in cash at Tampa International Airport and won't give it back. The federal lawsuit filed by FGL Transport and owners Scott Smith and Michael Rosenberg asks the U.S. Department of Homeland Security and the U.S. Customs and Border Protection, along with agency officials, to return the money, the Tampa Bay Times reported. It shouldn't be enough to just return the money. They need to pay. The lawsuit claims that in September, the company gave employee Boris Nolman $191,500 and a plane ticket to Cleveland to purchase several big trucks. When the cash in Nolman's carry-on bag went through a transportation TSA scanner, the agents pulled it aside for an inspection. Nolman was later allowed to leave, but only with $10,000, according to the lawsuit filed in the U.S. District Court for the Middle District of Florida. He never went to Cleveland to buy the trucks. Yeah, why the fuck? There's no point. He doesn't have the money anymore. The lawsuit says an agent gave Nolman a receipt to document the $181,500, but the federal agencies now say only $159,950 was confiscated. Yeah, see? They're literally just using this as an excuse to steal your money. They give you a receipt for the exact amount of money they stole, and then when you put pressure on them, they, I don't know where that other $21,550 went. That's all we ever took. I mean, you must be high. Yep. That is legitimate money, Rosenberg said. There's nothing dirty about this. We have evidence to show we took this out of our business account. Something is fishy here. Yeah, what's fishy is the government's allowed to get away with this fucking shit. And I can guarantee you, if that guy used the Second Amendment to defend his rights and stop the government from stealing his money, the media would portray him as the bad guy. The company says it proved the cash wasn't connected to illegal activity and contends agents violated the Constitution's Fourth Amendment for warrantless searches and seizures. Yeah, what I say at the beginning. Leslie Samus, a Tampa attorney representing the three men, was in court Thursday and unavailable for comment, the newspaper reported. Officials of the U.S. Department of Homeland Security and the Customs and Border Protection could also not be reached for comment. Yeah, they don't want to. Yeah, that's right. Now, Nolman was questioned for 45 minutes at the security checkpoint and then asked to go to the airport's police station. The company submitted a verified claims form to get the money back, the lawsuit said. A customs official replied in a letter weeks later saying that they were seizing because it was proceeds from specified unlawful activities such as the manufacture, sale, and distribution of a controlled substance. The customs letter didn't detail the discrepancy over the amount. No, you know the discrepancy. They fucking stole it. That's what it is. They probably after they stole the $181,000, they probably already started spending it. And now that they realize it's a lawsuit and they may have to give it back, now they're like, we're just going to pretend we never had the $21,000 we spent already. Yeah, they're that confident they're not going to have to give it back. The lawsuit contends that, the newspaper reported that the government hasn't provided any reason it believes the money came from illegal activities. Well, they don't have to. What are you going to do? What are you going to do, huh? Nothing. That's right. Because if you resist in any way, you're suddenly a terrorist, aren't you? America. The lawsuit contends that using cash to purchase big rigs is a common industry practice. The company had planned to build its fleet with trucks that were not at a dealer or an auction, and the independent owner didn't want a bank wire or a cashier's check because of fraud tied to certified checks in Florida. Well, I would have risked the fraud knowing this. He said it's not a crime to carry large amounts of money on a domestic flight, and Nolman, who is Rosenberg's son-in-law, also provided names and phone numbers to verify the money's origin. After the lawsuit was filed, Rosenberg said he and Nolman received letters from Customs and Border Protection revoking their participation in the Global Entry Program, which allows for pre-approved entry into the U.S. Yeah, so, and now this is blatantly against all the anti-retaliation laws. They're like, you're going to come after us because we stole your fucking money? Fine. We're going to remove you from this global entry program. Yeah, this is blatant retaliation right here. So the program requires an application, fingerprinting, and extensive background check. Rosenberg told the Times the revocation is no coincidence. Rosenberg said he's an owner and investor in the trucking company while Smith manages the daily operation. The money seizure is starting to hurt the firm. They are treating us like criminals. This doesn't make any sense. It does make sense because unless you use your Second Amendment rights and put your foot down and tell the government to get fucked like they did at the Bundy Ranch, you remember that? Yeah, that's what, see, if more people were willing to do that, the government wouldn't be this bold about blatantly stealing people's money. But no, everyone's too cucked and pacified. So this is what you get, and it's only going to get worse. As the pacification gets worse, they're going to get even more heavy-handed. I can guarantee you that's what's going to be going on. Oh, man. Yeah, it's almost as if people forget the purpose of the Second Amendment isn't really so you can protect yourself. It's so you can hold your government accountable. So they can't walk all over you like they're doing. That's fine. Yeah, Gun the Legend, thank you for the 10. I don't know if I should say fuck the police or if there's a shit ton of bad apples. No, there's good ones out there, but they're not really doing anything to help. They're just abiding by shit like this happening. But then again, these giant federal agencies aren't like your local police either, so you got to realize that. These giant federal agencies exist for the sole purpose of fucking you over as an American citizen. They don't even pretend to protect you in a lot of cases. They exist to fuck you up the ass. Ah, man. Yeah, Alex Jones was right. Yeah, that's something that we hear a lot, isn't it? He's a crazy conspiracy theorist, and then people are finally catching on to shit he's been saying for like 10 plus years. 10 plus fucking years, man. Yeah. But, well, we'll see what happens. Okay, Kenny Quest, thank you for the 2. Oh, what's that? Yeah. I say peace to Peach and Blade Devil, yeah? Oh man, oh man, I cannot wait to do that. I can't wait to finally deliver that. Oh, although delivery, it's going to be by the end of the year unless things go really horrible. But we'll see, man. Campaign's going up. We're going to try to get it out to people by Christmas. So yeah, you want to buy a Christmas present for people early? Yeah, just get yourself some Blade Devil, man. Yeah, unless there's another fucking coronavirus at whatever printer we're going to use. Yeah, it's going to happen, man. This shit is going to go down. It's going to happen. Yeah, turning the freaking frogs gay. Yeah. Yeah, the Second Amendment has nothing to do with hunting. The bad politicians wish it did. Well, unfortunately, most of the population has already been brainwashed into that. Yeah, Blade Devil, Knuckles, and Olive Garden. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's not peace, it's the Vulcan hand sign. Yeah. Well, it's the live long and prosper one. Yeah, that's true. Oh, it's that gay frogs. Yeah. Well, to be fair, I mean, he was technically incorrect, but not completely. All right. So now that we got the infuriating shit out of the way, let's look at some funny shit. How are things going in the marriage department? Women's proposing to men becoming a new marital trend. Yeah, because men are starting to realize it's a raw fucking deal, at least until they reform the family courts. So now women are the ones that have to ask men to marry them because there's nothing in it for a guy. And it's also from New York, funny enough. Marriage proposals are always popular on Valentine's Day, but it's not just men getting down on one knee. Sarah Sika and Ramiro Flores are both teachers. When they first met at school in current year -6, they quickly got a course in chemistry. Oh, I see what you did. Okay, that was pretty clever. We saw each other across the room and we both felt something. Yeah, you felt lust. That's what you felt. So after dating a few years, Ramiro proposed. Sarah accepted. That's usually the end of an engagement story. But a year later, Sarah got down on one knee and asked Ramiro to marry her. It was crazy because we were already engaged, but I was so nervous. Oh, man. So they were already engaged. But this is a trend, though. Yeah. I was so nervous to do it, just thinking what I'd say to him. I was like, is he going to say yes? We knew he was going to say yes, but let's hear some of the others. So Sarah isn't alone. Skier Lindsey Vonn made headlines on Christmas when she asked her fiancé to marry her. Writing on social media, the men should get engagement rings too. Okay. Well, whose money did they... Actually, no, Lindsey Vonn is pretty... I think she's pretty rich, though. She should be able to afford it. A current year -2 report from Pinterest found the number of people searching for women proposing to men ideas skyrocketed 336%. Professional matchmaker Michelle Frankel said the trend is all about gender equality. It's not wrong. If a woman wants something, she goes after it in the workplace. She wants to live her life with a man. Why wouldn't she choose to go after that and propose? Hey, especially in current year, because chances of them going after you and proposing are getting lower and lower. For Sarah and Ramiro, it's an experience they'll treasure forever. I'm sure it is. So that's the state of marriage right now. Where now we're having a massive increase in women actually proposing to men. Because men aren't proposing to women anymore. They're like, I'm not going to deal with this shit. Nope. There's no point in me putting all this extra risk on me. I am not going to be dealing with this shit. Not my problem. Although, if a proposal comes in, you got to think, at that point, that's probably going to be the end of the relationship if there's a no. Although I guess it's not a sure thing, but probably. Okay. Man, some good tea today. All right, and Machine90, thank you for the 5. I look forward to the NPC Puritans on Twitter and the possible retard era tried to sabotage your campaign and fail miserably. Yeah. Oh, if they try, I don't know. See, if it makes you feel any better, Bob over at Koopa Networks, that they almost got their payment platform up and running. So even if they deplatform us off of fucking everywhere else, we'll find a way, man. We will find a way. And Alfonso Fred, thank you the 5. If a Whammons truly believes in Jesus, it'll work. Hey, that's right. Yeah, keep doing it, ladies. Keep doing it, man. If you truly believe hard enough, it'll work. Oh, and Gun the Legend, hey, thank you for another 5, dude. Yeah, kind of waiting for shit to go down so the U.S. could turn into Venezuela, maybe give it 20 years, but who knows for the time being. Yeah, just worry about making sure that you yourself will be taken care of. That's the big thing right there. Yeah, make sure that you'll be able to last a few months. Oh, and Jarnagi, thank you the 5. Now, thinking with your dick will get you caught in a bear trap. Glad to see more men not falling for it. Well, yeah, there's only so much looking around and seeing all the men around you getting screwed over you can take before you're like, maybe it's not worth the risk. Maybe it's not. Oh, Rojigami has a good point, though. One does not simply say no to an Ara proposal. Well, if it was a hot anime chick like Ashiara, I wouldn't say no either. But we don't live in anime world, unfortunately. As nice as that would be, we don't. We're going to have to make anime real one of these days, though. One of these days. And, so remember a while back. Remember how Patreon was banning everybody for wrongthink, and then they lost a large chunk of not just their creators, but their supporters? And now they've really kind of pulled back on the cancel culture shit. Looks like they're so desperate now, they're turning into a fucking payday loan fucking company. Because Patreon will now give creators cash advances on their subscription money. Think of it as a microloan, yeah. Probably at like a 30% interest, too. Patreon, the site creators love because it helps them make money off their work, unless they're guilty of wrongthink, has started a program called Patreon Capital, which grants microloans to creators. It's essentially a cash advance. You get money now in exchange for some of your future earnings, plus a small premium. Yeah, it's only 30%. It's not that, that's how much YouTube takes. It's not that big of a deal. It's different from Patreon's usual business, which is enabling direct subscriptions to people whose work you like, then taking a cut off the top, but it'll diversify the company's revenue, which should make Patreon a more sustainable business, which is pretty much mandatory right now after they chased everyone off their platform. And a lot of those people, and I say the people who successfully set up on other platforms, they literally have no reason to come back. And Patreon is running scared right now. They realize they fucked up. So they have to become a fucking payday loan company now. Man. Given their history and positioning as a creator support platform, unless you're guilty of wrongthink, Patreon believes they're in a better position than banks to provide creators with the business support they need. Unless you piss off their Trust and Safety Council. After all, Patreon has access to all the data about a creator's earning history, what they offer as benefits, and how they engage with their patrons. Everything needed to forecast their earnings and retention without a creator even needing to submit an application. This would essentially be impossible for a bank to replicate. Well, that part's actually true. I got nothing to say about that. A Patreon creator's historical performance as far as subscribers and revenue go is definitely more transparent than a credit report, and as Qua astutely notes, the program is modeled after other similar offerings from Shopify and Stripe. But that's not why the program was started. It was started because Patreon was bleeding users and money because they kept canceling people for wrongthink. But let's see what they try to pretend. Patreon Capital exists because Patreon itself is a business, one that pays out a significant amount of money it pulls into the people who populate its platform. The reality is Patreon needs to build a new business and needs to build new businesses and new services and new revenue lines in order to build a sustainable business. So this kind of goes back to what I said, because they say this. Jack Conte said this last year, and this is when I made the point myself that how incompetent do you have to be, where you take a business model that's literally just let one person pay another person and skim money off the top, and make that not sustainable. We know the reasons. It's because they're wasting money on stupid shit like trust and safety councils. It's because they're run by investors and the investors demand a certain return that they can't achieve right now. It's shit like that. But fuck, a platform like Patreon in its current form, I can't imagine you need more than like 5-10 people to keep it running. So 5 to 10 people splitting in 5% of $500 million, $500 million, that's a lot of fucking money. This should be a sustainable business, even after all the expenses for hosting and payment processor fees and all that. But no, they got too fucking bloated. And on top of getting too fucking bloated, they also chased away people who were giving them lots of money. And it's not just wrong thinkers like Sargon of Akkad. They were deplatforming all those porn game makers like Studio Foe. They were making tens of thousands of dollars a month. And then they went and launched Subverse, together with Tim Pool apparently, and made millions. This is all money Patreon could have been skimming off the top of, but they decided, nope, fuck that shit. We don't want to be associated with these guys. And now they realize they're going broke. So every business is different, but they all have the same blood. Money. That's true. It's just another way corporations really aren't the same as people, no matter what Citizens United says. Well, legally they are, I guess. Like every other business, Patreon needs to find its way to sustainability. It should have been sustainable already. See, that's the way we're going to be building up Blade Devil, actually. I mean, right now, sure, we're sinking time and money into it, but if we can at least break even, we can keep going. We can do that. So we plan on being sustainable from the start and then growing. But these guys, it's just like Twitter or YouTube. They've never been profitable. And yet people still keep dumping money into them. All right, so same as every other creator on its platform. In other words, Patreon needs more blood, which means that it's probably better to think of Patreon Capital as a necessary transfusion. You know what Patreon could do to make a lot more money, actually, without even having to implement a new service? Because this takes way more work on their part. You know what they could do instead? Stop deplatforming people. If they kept the adult game creators like Studio Foe on, if they kept conservatives like Sargon of Akkad on, or I guess classical liberals like Sargon of Akkad on, if they stopped deplatforming people for hurting someone's fifis, think of all the money they could have right now. But no, they don't want that shit. They're not going to do it. They don't like money. They tell you to go fuck yourself, And then they realize, shit, who's going to pay for my lunch today? Who's going to put food on the table? No, let's go beg them to come back. Cool. And Gun the Legend, thank you for the 10. The Whammons want equality, so New York might be leading the charge, even though it goes against human instincts when it comes to male to female bonding. But I know it's current year. I've been listening to TFM a lot. Yeah. Well, you see, men are starting to realize there's no benefit in any of this shit anymore. They keep stacking on risks and they keep piling more responsibilities onto men, while what we normally would get in return in these relationships just keeps getting taken away. So this would be like at your workplace. Imagine if like every month you got a pay cut, but they also increased your workload. How much longer before you fucking quit? Because that's the position men are in. We keep getting pay cuts while our workload keeps increasing, and eventually it's almost at the point where we have to pay for the privilege of being overworked. And it's, fuck no, we're better off without that garbage. And Jesse, thank you for the $1. I don't know what happened today, but I re-downloaded Tinder on my phone at around 8 this morning and was suddenly blowing up. Started with 1 like 15 minutes after installing, then it was around 20 likes by 3 p.m. Oh, well, good luck with that, man. I wouldn't be playing that Tinder game, but oof. Hopefully they weren't all dudes. I mean, I'm assuming you're not gay anyway. Yeah. Given the whole childhood friend stories, yeah. All right. So, Crossing23, thank you for the 5. If a Whammons wants to date me, she has to play by my rules, and if she wants to date me, she has to come forward with it. Yeah, that's another thing that guys are slowly starting to realize, that in current year, where men are pretty much expected to fulfill our traditional gender roles, and expecting a woman to fulfill hers is viewed as sexism and misogyny. Yeah, guys are starting to realize that, maybe we're the catch in this equation. Fuck that. Abraham Shaw, thank you for the 5. Bring on an all-star cast featuring Ricardo Law, Review Tech USA, Tim Pool, and TFM. Yeah, well, to what? The Blade Devil launch? Yeah, I'll definitely be firing out some invites to people. DZ Pagan, thank you for the 5. The whole point of being a platform is that one is not associated with the clients. I know. As soon as you start censoring, that's when you should be considered a publisher instead of a platform, as far as I'm concerned. And Scott Manuel, thank you for the 5. Hey, Eagle, yes, the fires are out in Straya, then Mother Nature followed up with some floods. No, that's pretty common, actually. And as someone who I actually had to evacuate due to fires 2 years in a row. And yeah, floods always follow the fires, because as all the vegetation is burned away and dies, like it was those plants and their roots and shit that kept the soil and the water and everything contained. But no, now it just flows away. So yeah, man, hopefully you guys can survive that, because I know how bad that gets. And you guys have it like on a nationwide scale. That's fucking horrible, man. Yeah, I need Blade Devil. Dude, I need to put this book out, man. The more I see the Western comic industry get closer and closer to its demise, I'm actually starting to get worried. I'm like, fuck, maybe we're not even going to release Blade Devil in time to make it be the death blow to the Western industry. They may be dead by the time it comes out later this year. Now that would be tragic. I would hate that so much. I want Blade Devil to be the final nail in their coffin. Damn it, I don't want them dying before we put the book out. Life's biggest tragedies right there. Okay, so let's get back to pointing and laughing, though, because we got pretty much nothing but pointing and laughing all the way through. All-female team Ve Victus kicked out of LCL due to poor performance. Crow Crowd, owned by former player Licrit, joins the league. I mean, you could tell by looking at them, they were picked entirely for their skill. The first all-female organization in the world to join a top-level League of Legends esports league has been left out of the competition for a year due to its poor performance. Yeah, it's almost as if they didn't get into the league on merit, is it? Almost. Organized by Riot Games Russia, the League of Legends Continental League starts on February 22nd with a team ready to substitute Vevictis. Whew. Vevictis has been the target of discussion about having only Whammons in its lineup. Being defeated 28 times in a row did not help their case. Ouch. Woo, girl power. During the current year -1 spring split of the LCL, the team had gone winless, placing last and having a win rate of 0%. The average number of deaths per game was 26. I think it was 27, actually, but that's close enough. The teams in the league would often not take the competition against them seriously, playing champions that were not met. God damn. Holy shit. Now that, oh my God. Ooh, so not only did no one view them as a challenge, but they've looked down on them so much that they just played for fun and still won. Ouch. It's like, oh, no, let's try some D-rank characters this match. I bet we can still win. Oh, man. Oh, then they put out the twat right there. It's like, thank you to organizers for the opportunity to play with other Whammons teams. According to the girls, everything was organized at the highest level, and perhaps we will take part in the following similar events. Now we have to wait for the beginning of the next split, and that was last year. It's not going to happen. I can pretty much guarantee it. Nope, not going to happen. The LCL has deemed the team not competitive enough to be in the league, prohibiting them from participating in the current year season. The team will be able to play the Open Cup if they are successful. Then they can rejoin the LCL. I mean, what the hell do you mean they are not competitive enough? I mean, 28 straight losses with 26 or 27 average deaths per game? I mean, come on, that's pretty good. For a bunch of noobs playing for fun. To substitute Vevictis, Crow Crowd will enter the tournament after climbing its way up from the lower tier. Former support player Kirill Likrit Malofeev has become the owner and strategic director of the team in current year -1 after a successful career in Albux Nox Luna, which came to an end in current year -3. So there you go. There you go. Once again, reality and biology win out against Fifis. You cannot defeat biology. It's never going to happen. And they can't claim that they were being kept down, they were being oppressed, none of that shit. This was a level playing field. They were competing at the same level as all the guys. They got no excuse for this. Man, it's almost as if we've been right all along, though, isn't it, guys? So, yeah, we definitely had to have that hilarious story up there. Everything we said would happen is happening. You know, big shock right here. It's only a matter of time, though, until, oh, God. If they have a separate women's league now for esports, just wait until all the trans women start dominating it. Because, I mean, dude, if I remember correctly, like the last time that the NPCs were throwing around some female competitive gamer, and oh look, this one's competing with the boys, and I looked and it was a trans woman. Everything made sense. Albane Fox, thank you, another 5. Like, these pussies got pounded in every game they played and having the worst score in competitive league history. Whammons need to be in the kitchen. Oh, maybe they would have played better if they set up their gaming computers in their kitchens. You never know. It's entirely possible it would have happened, you know. They should have tried it. At least they would have had the home field advantage there. Oh, RGE, you should enter. Yeah. No, dude, I am not a competitive gamer by any stretch of the imagination. But if I find a local female league near me, maybe I should put on a wig and enter it. Yeah, Candy Crush is not an esport. It could be, though. Maybe they could make it an esport. That would be hilarious. A Candy Crush esport? No, they could. You could do competitive Candy Crush, You could just play for time. Assuming all the drops are identical for both players, you could just play for time, or who can clear the... No, I was thinking Tetris. Now, see, Tetris, you could clear the field, but with Candy Crush, yeah. Yeah, as long as the pattern of those little, those candies is the same, then it all depends on how quickly you match them and what combos you can come up with. You could do that competitively. You could do competitive Candy Crush. Wouldn't be very exciting to watch, but you could do it. Yeah, just identify as a Whammons for a night or two. I know, I should. I fucking should. Yeah, if I just identified as a Whammons, yeah, I mean, it worked for Zuby, right? Where he broke the woman's world record in the deadlift. He identified as a woman at the time he did it. So, yeah, he holds the woman's world record regardless of what they say. Yeah, they can't take that away from him. He is the woman's world record holder for the deadlift. Ah, man. Anyway, let me see. I think I should be caught up. Got to go do some more refreshing up in here. All right. Raid Shadow Legends esports. Oh god. So have you guys seen that with how's it? It's a Gundam, by the way. Yeah, he was offered to shill Raid Shadow Legends as well. And you know how other YouTubers are being offered like $7,000? They offered him like $250. Not $250,000, $250 to shill their game. That well played, man. Very well played. Oh, and Gundam Legend, thank you for another 20. Biology is not a social construct. La 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 la. But I know that I would be put in Twitter jail. Yeah, if you point out that biology is not a social construct on Twitter, you get you don't even get put in Twitter jail. You get flat out suspended for hate speech or some shit, just for speaking the truth, the objective, scientifically provable truth. Yeah, they take everything from us. It's only fair we take it back from them till they back off. Yeah, all these women want to keep invading male-only spaces and ruining them. Let's take theirs too. It's like, okay, fine. If we can't have male-only spaces, you can't have women-only spaces. It's only fair. Oh, Makini90, thank you for the 5. Can't get any fighting game to esports without any censorship, though. Well, we're going to have to go play non-fighting. See, I could never be a competitive fighting game player. I could never do that. But maybe some other games. I mean, I might be, especially in the women's league, I may be pretty competitive at Twitch shooters still. We'll see. Man, I remember we actually played some Unreal Tournament 2004 again a couple days back on, not a couple days, a couple months back on some other servers, and I still got it. I'm still good, bunny hopping with the rocket, aiming at where they're gonna land when they're bunny hopping back. Good times, man. Good fucking times. Oh man, Toxic Man Baby is being a businessman there. Yeah, RG, we should chill Raid Shadow Legends and Blade Devil. We already have a tablet-looking device. Yeah, maybe Barrel Shoda could play Raid Shadow Legends on it while on the quest. Oh, that would be some good shit. Speaking of humiliating shit, though, Soiny. PlayStation humiliates themselves attempting to virtue signal about Doom Eternal. And that was it, the first female demon in Doom. Yeah, first female demon. Pay attention long enough and you become an expert on what you're observing. Like an animal documentation narrator, you begin to describe the intricate behaviors of the social justice warriors. In their unnatural habitat, here you see the creature exhibit one of its two most basic behaviors. When the parasitic creature cannot infiltrate a host community, they make the topic somehow about themselves. That is so fucking true. Soiny, an unfortunate victim of a complete parasitic infestation, demonstrates how the disease will spread from host to host, or at least attempt to do so before failing spectacularly, exposing the SJW to its natural enemy, the light of day. As you can see, Soiny attempted to claim Whiplash, this character here, was the first female demon in the series history, and not even Reddit was buying that malarkey. For there are a few very simple issues with the argument. Firstly, and most importantly, Doom Current Year -4 had 2 female demons, the Summoner and the Spider Mastermind. First in the series, though, Whiplash, first female demon, and weren't some of the skulls also females? Yeah, and a fact any intrepid researcher can confirm on any adult picture website. Yeah. How would you guys like to look up some Spider Mastermind Rule 34? You know it exists, guys. You know it exists. Not that I've done so repeatedly, mind you, but I've heard it's true. Speaking of adult content, even in the modding scene, there's been H-Doom, which turned every demon into a monster girl with animated sex scenes, thus removing any question whether or not there has been female content throughout the series and whether fans object to it. So true. So true. Some will argue that it's just mods, you degenerate, to which I'll point out the Vagare had tits in Doom 3. Prior Doom games contained the Spider Mastermind as well, along with the Mother Demon in Doom 64, meaning without question the series has numerous de facto female demons, along with many abominations and mutations that were also female, but not visibly so as they blended in with their male counterparts visually. Twitter users were very quick to rip Soiny a new one. Yeah, did it forget about these? Yeah, this one's even got titties. How can you even... That's clearly a whammons. That's right. And when you don't know what first means... Well, this is current year, though. Remember how Captain Marvel was the world's first female superhero? Remember that? Remember Black Panther, the world's first black superhero? Nobody came before them. So now you got Whiplash, Doom's first female demon. And if history disagrees with you, then history is fucking sexist and should be canceled. You remember when The Last of Us 2 comes out, we'll finally get our first female protagonist? Well played. For the first female lesbian protagonist at that is going to be in The Last of Us 2. Setting aside the idiocy of none of these demons have visible genitalia, so if you hadn't said this, there's actually no canon reason the demons aren't both genders. This is also false because the flying heads in Doom 3 definitely include females. Yeah, I figured as much. And yeah, that's right. Did Soiny just assume Whiplash's gender? Did we just see Soiny being potentially transphobic? I think we did. I think they should be canceled. So let's be honest, this twat was for one reason, to get the Kotakus and Mary Sues of the blog land to write, yes, Sly Queen, articles, which the rest of us will laugh at. Oh no, I appreciate these articles, by the way. I greatly appreciate the content from my YouTube channel. We almost have a symbiotic relationship with these parasites, and they're almost symbiotes instead of parasites. It's kind of funny. Yeah. Like, damn, demons are so progressive. Mortally challenged, bigot. Yes. Yeah, I remember that joke. Yeah. Oh, I did my thing. Oh, yeah, Kukuria. Oh man, this dude does a lot of good stuff. Yeah. Now, if Whiplash looked like this. Yeah, oh, sensitive material. Good thing it's blocked right there while I'm streaming. So you know you've reached peak humiliation when people stop pointing and laughing at you and just start memeing around your stupidity. Denying the SJW the attention they deserve is about the only way, short of voting with your wallet, to starve out the infection. Now proceed to point and laugh before ripping and tearing. Yup. And this is just the beginning, man. Just wait until the PS5 is failing and Soiny is just flailing around. And then they try to backtrack all their censorship policies. Like, oh yeah, all you weebs that we told you to go fuck yourselves and we don't need you anymore. And you're far from our majority audience. Please come back. We're sorry. We won't do it again. Nope. Never coming back after this. Go fuck yourselves. Never gonna happen. Never gonna happen. Oh, and we're still not done, man. We still got plenty more Clown World left to go through. Plenty. Oh, Imagination, thank you for the 2. Demons are meant for slaying, not Yas Queen slaying. That's true. And as the Rule 34, we got to tell them, too. Demons are made for slaying, not laying. And Gun the Legend, hey, thank you for another 10. To be honest, I really didn't care. But the one thing I do care about, rip and tear. Yeah, rip and tear into Soiny right there. That's what we're going to have to do. Yeah, if they try to virtue signal, we're gonna have to tank that shit. We're gonna have to call them out on it. Make sure all the shit they do backfires. That's gonna be good. All right. Ooh, I'm Makini 90. Hey, good point. Thank you for the 2. Make thoughts in esport. Well, as many thoughts as are on Twitch, you could have a booby streamer off as for an esport, right? You could do that. Hey, and CJ, thank you for another 5. Yeah, make a new competition, play Peach Beach Splash, and call it Dweeb Sports. Yeah. Fuck, I could. But then again, I mean, that game had a multiplayer mode, and it had rankings and all that, but nobody really plays that type of game competitively in multiplayer. A few people do, and I mean, I think the gameplay was solid enough, but that's not why most people bought it. And Alfonso Fretch, thank you for 5. Thanks again for exposing the nonsense. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's nothing but nonsense out of Soiny. Shit. I'm going to have to be going on some other streams in March when Blade Devil's launching and expose myself to all of them. Yeah, I'm going to be exposing myself all over the internet. Wouldn't that be hilarious? Oh, E-Thought Sports. Hey, that could work. That could fucking work, man. Yeah, Cinnamon Kaga Peach Beach Splash esports. Yup. That would actually get people watching. Man, that would be some good shit. All right. We're not done laughing at idiocy in gaming, though. YouTube paid Activision Blizzard $160 million for esports exclusivity. Yeah, I remember I talked about this maybe a week or 2 ago about how all of their esports leagues are going to be Google exclusive now. Well, look, now we know how much Google paid for it. $160 million. Earlier this year, we reported on Google and Activision Blizzard's teaming up. As of now, multiple reports have surfaced saying how much the former company paid Activision Blizzard to host its Overwatch League, Call of Duty esports stream, and Hearthstone Championship on YouTube. Whew. I think maybe Call of Duty may be able to attract some audience, but most of these aren't really going to get that many views anymore. YouTube, you paid like $160 million too much for this shit. Google, YouTube, and Activision Blizzard are no strangers to controversy. Yeah, I refuse to separate these two. They're the same. As a matter of fact, the quartet has a checkered past that even bleeds into current events happening right now. Nevertheless, the deal between Google and Activision Blizzard is a multi-year partnership that sees these powerhouses sharing tech and other platforms to bolster profits. You're not going to be bolstering much profits when nobody is looking at your shit, though. You're going to exclude... the funny thing with exclusives, if you push that exclusive shit too far, you're going to exclude yourself from the market. But hey, what do I know? That's right. Google and Activision Blizzard have a multi-year strategic relationship that will see the pair working together in the foreseeable future, but we now know how much Google's subsidiary has paid Activision Blizzard for its esports exclusivity. Yeah, all the other deals they have going on may not be included in this, or they aren't included in this. How much they're paying to get them for Stadia exclusives, that's another matter. Yeah, just wait for those announcements, it's going to happen. So as per Esports Observer and Game Industry, Activision Blizzard received $160 million. This $160 million covers Call of Duty, Overwatch, and Hearthstone. As mentioned above, will allow YouTube to broadcast the esports events for 3 years. Sadly, we don't know how much money Google and YouTube paid for each title individually, but according to the two sites, it said that Call of Duty and Hearthstone didn't cost that much out of the 3 games. What? So it was actually Overwatch? But Overwatch is dying now. Oh well, not my problem. Moreover, don't be shocked if Google and YouTube continue to pay off other companies to host exclusive content on the video streaming platform that censors and demonetizes folks for the most minute things. That's what happens the bigger a platform gets. You have to walk on a fucking razor's edge. So what can we gather from all this? Well, Google and YouTube see Activision Blizzard's list of esports IPs as something worthy of holding hostage. Nobody's going to watch them. I'm on YouTube. I'm not going to watch that shit. From here on out, Google and Activision Blizzard will work together to bring gamers, quote-unquote, premium network quality of service and, quote-unquote, high-fidelity games on any device. Stadia, even though that doesn't fit what they're describing it as, I can guarantee you Activision Blizzard is probably going to have some Stadia exclusivity, at least for streaming. However, YouTube won't be the exclusive streaming partner in China. Uh-oh. What happened there? Oh, they probably just have another partner lined up. That's probably all it is. But we need to look at some titties. Titties make sense. Whew, man. So much Clown World shit going on, huh? I'm looking forward to seeing this entire industry collapse. It's setting itself up pretty well. It's going to happen. All right, Core Sonic 23, thank you for another 5. Sony had a chance to show off the PS5. Now they are done. More people will go to PC or Xbox than the Switch. Yeah, you guys remember that? You remember their big PS5 reveal? That ended up being the PS5 logo reveal? Looking exactly like we thought it would. And now the rumors are that they're going to wait to see how much Microsoft prices their console at before pricing. See, Microsoft is making the smart move here because they're focusing more on platform than the console itself. So they could technically release a much weaker console, but bolster it with all the other shit. Like, oh yeah, you buy your game on the Xbox Game Pass, you can play it on mobile, PC, the console. Oh, we'll even use we're not going to stream it from the cloud, but we'll use our cloud processing servers to boost your performance locally. We're going to do some of that expensive processing on the cloud and send it back to you to speed it up while you're running the game normally. How awesome is that, guys? Like, they could do something like that. And then they could sell the Xbox Series X for, like $300 or something. And meanwhile, Sony is there like, fuck. Like, our production cost of the PS5 is over $400. Yeah, Microsoft would just win by default if they did that. Yeah. Oh, Taiwan number 1. China number 4. Yeah, that's right. Japan number 2. Some people know how to troll, man. And for what it's worth, I find that shit hilarious. And it's the same when people on my side get trolled. Like, goddamn. Let's talk about horrible subs before we get to this final article. Because horrible subs, I think it's because Anime Lab's they're starting, or a while ago, they got Interspecies reviewers back up with a different subtitler. And the version on horrible subs is the censored version. And the reason for that is simple. Horrible Subs always just uses the rips. They rip their videos directly from the official streaming sites. That's all they do. So if the official stream is censored, of course the one on Horrible Subs is going to be censored too. So people were complaining and asking if they could get the uncensored version. So Horrible Subs trolled the fuck out of them by saying that, oh no, we're not going to show you the uncensored version. That goes against what we stand for. We want anime to be family friendly. And people fell for that shit. That was funny. I was laughing my ass off reading some of those replies. Yeah, so Horrible Subs just trolled the fuck out of some people. It's as if they don't already know by now that the only thing Horrible Subs does is rip the official streams. That's all they do. If you want the ATX uncensored fan subs, you already know you don't go to Horrible Subs. You already fucking know that. Well. Yeah, but it also helps that they've been trolling their own audience for years now. That's fine. Anyone who's getting interspecies reviewers from them, I don't know what's wrong with you, man. Just go. The fan sub group Judas, they're doing a very good job with it. Just use them. All right, Dan Gun Legend. Cool. Thank you for another 10. Makes me wonder if all those technical issues will come to fruition and make them a massive disgrace for esports when it comes to Stadia. Yo, you could not do esports on Stadia. You can't fucking do that. Yeah. That's it, man. All right. So let's move on then. One final article. Or actually, shit. I think I got some more shekels coming in. Oh, yeah. Mike Robinson, thank you for the 5. Trent Diggler here, watching as Amy prepares to shake them moneymakers. Oh, yeah, the e-thought sports. Trent Diggler here, watching as Amy prepares to shake them money. Oh, that would be the best thought esports ever, actually. No, the competition, they wouldn't be playing a game. The e-thought sports would be all about who can milk their pay pigs the most, who can get the most donations by the end of the hour-long competition. Oh, yeah, there'd be a lot of titty shaking there. Oh, and CJ, thank you for the 5. Google probably doesn't have the rights in China after that spying software debacle Dragonfly, I think it was. Now, I have no sympathy for Google for that, by the way. They took a stand with Dragonfly, but they do the same shit here in the West. They just call it curation instead of censorship when they do it. Yeah. Don't feel sorry for these fuckers at all. Yeah. Oh, get DSP. Yeah, that's right. Oh, man. But all right. If you guys have been around since Gamergate, you may remember the gamejornopros mail list. Now we got the gamejornopros 2.0. If you are conservative, you have no chance. Game Journalism Insider outs clique that runs the industry like a private domain. And I don't have a problem with this anymore, because they're just going to get replaced. These guys think they run the whole industry and they're going to gatekeep us out. We're going to replace them by building a parallel industry, and when theirs collapses and they try to come into ours, now it's our turn. If you've ever tried to gatekeep me out of something or cancel culture me, you're not going to be welcome in whatever the fuck I build to replace you. I'm already telling you that right the fuck now. An influential figure from a leading gaming website says that a clique of like-minded... they don't have minds. Media figures are colluding to prevent right-leaning journalists and developers from having a voice in the industry. And this is why we're making our own. I am going to have nothing to do with the established industry. If you were openly a conservative and tried to apply to any of the mainstream outlets that are on the coasts, I don't think you have a chance in hell of getting in, said the senior source, who wishes to remain anonymous for fear of repercussions. There's a lot of us that probably think there's a clique. Well, that know there's a clique. Yeah, the gamejornopros list. There it is. This clique is composed of journalists from well-known gaming and tech websites, among them Kotaku, Polygon, Vice, Ars Technica, Game Daily, GameSpot, Eurogamer, and loads more. People don't write something or we don't say something on Twitter or whatever because you spew one wrong opinion and you're asking for trouble. Says the source, who has admitted to keeping their own opinions private to avoid sanction. Unless you don't care about potential opportunities within the industry, a lot of people just don't say what they're actually thinking. And that is why people from the outside are replacing these fuckers. I don't give a fuck about opportunities within the industry. I don't need those worthless sacks of shit. All I need are the fans, are the audience. That's literally it. I don't need anybody else. So this industry can go get fucked. I don't care. It's just like all those hentai games, right? What industry do these hentai games rely on and need? They operate their own parallel industry because the mainstream industry tells them to go fuck themselves. And we're going to do the same shit. So politics over integrity. Integrity farms. The dominance has directly impacted the integrity of the journalism at the publications run by the clique members. In one example, which was described to me in detail that I have obscured to protect my source, staff members were discussing coverage of a controversial figure who had been wrongly punished by a gaming organization. Several members of the site objected, saying that the figure did not deserve fair coverage because they are not a good person. Yup. Yeah, this is the type of people we're dealing with. Every time one of them is outed as being a colossal piece of shit, like, oh, we can't talk about that because he's on the right side of history. And every time they smear someone else and that other person actually defends themselves, oh, they're a bad person. We can't let them defend themselves. So their crime being openly right-wing. Yeah, if you vote Republican, you're literally worse than Hitler. That's right. It's really hilarious how close to Nazis the people who call everyone else Nazis are. My source continues, they don't want to cover these things because they don't like somebody, and that's not how you do journalism. That's blogging. And this is why these failures will never make it into the mainstream outlets. Most of these people didn't want to be games journalists. They tried to be mainstream news journalists. But they failed because even fucking CNN, though they're nothing but fake news, not even CNN wants these useless fucking morons. So even CNN was like, nah, fam, we don't want you around here. So they failed into games journalism because that's the only place they could get a job. And now they're demonstrating why nobody else wants to hire them. As soon as the games journalism industry collapses and these people are unemployed, they will never work in the industry again. Because everyone in the entire fucking world knows how they really are now. So, hypocrisy in action. The clique's power has insulated it from criticism, allowing them to get away with many of the offenses they punish others for. See Reset Era, for example. To cite examples, Danny O'Dwyer, formerly of GameSpot, used to drop N-bombs on Twitter. Patrick Klipik of Vice has a history with rape jokes. Laura K. Dale, formerly of Kotaku, once slandered a comedian only to admit she made the event up. And Jed Whittaker made an entire video where he laughs about rape and also drops N-bombs. But it's okay when they do it because they're on the right side of history. All while devs such as the team behind Ion Fury are called homophobic in hit pieces because of a pun in their game. My source believes that the shaming tactics the clique deploys are not just about a hypocritical self-righteousness, but clicks. It's all audience-building tactics. Look at how much people talk about those controversy articles on social media. They know exactly what they're doing because it works. You sow the dissent, people engage with it, and voila, you got thousands of visitors. And then people learn what archive links are, and all that goes away. Hounding Holovka. My source is particularly outraged over the clique's duplicity when it comes to mental health. On the one hand, mainstream games journalists will talk up its importance in the industry and within games themselves, and even set up mental health initiatives. In the next instance, they will destroy the public lives of potentially vulnerable individuals for the most minor transgressions. People forget how dangerous it is for people with fragile mental health to be dogpiled by potentially thousands of people on Twitter, they tell me. Yeah, they're not all like me. I've been dogpiled a few times on Twitter, and I just view it as a challenge. Like, fuck, I'll take all you fuckers on. And then after about an hour or two, I just get bored. And then it just becomes annoying because the notifications won't stop. Yeah, but even still, I mean, some people, like, they take that real bad. You should just get off the internet if you're one of those, honestly. So my source, who does not consider themselves a conservative, closet or otherwise, says that people have confused journalism for activism. Well, this is actually a very fair thing in current year because if you've ever seen how they teach journalism at school, at college, most of the time they teach activism and call it journalism. The most notorious recent instance they discussed was the suicide of developer Alec Holovka last year following accusations of sexual abuse by feminist campaigner and known pathological liar Zoe Quinn. Ew, I'm getting that off screen. We need some brain bleach for that, or some eye bleach. Whew, that's better. My source was concerned that by the witch hunting atmosphere that made even questioning them impossible, at least until after the subject of the accusations was dead. If it makes you feel any better, though, there is one positive to this, because eventually this same shit is going to come for them. Because Alec Holovka as well, he was one of these SJWs, and he got eaten by his own. So all these other guys who are participating in this shit, they're eventually gonna be eaten by their own, and nobody is gonna raise a finger to help them. So in the end, they're gonna get what's coming to them at least. If somebody actually wants to see evidence that someone was sexually assaulted, you're immediately thrown under the bus for just wanting to hear both sides of the story and that you don't support victims, even though that absolutely is not true. Hey, welcome to Pound Me Too. You can't get the full story from one side all the time. The source believes that the urinalists' disregard for the fundamental duties turning into political activists instead. Yeah, they disregarded their fundamental duties. They sure did. Developmental hardship. The source confirmed that self-censorship, described as walking on eggshells, extends beyond urinalists. Its members will often perform Twitter deep dives to extract problematic statements, which are then used to imperil the careers of game developers who do not have the finances or reputation to defend themselves. This is why we are making a parallel industry. Fuck these people. Ultimately, we want to have a good enough parallel industry that the people with actual talent come to us. And then the only people left in this industry are going to be these worthless fucking parasites, and we can just have a cutoff. Like, okay, at this point, everyone knows that everyone with talent is over here. So anyone that's still sticking with the legacy parasitic industry, we're just going to do a cutoff right now. We're not going to let those people into our new industry, because if we let these parasites in, they're going to fuck up the new one just like they did the old one. This is what we're going to have to do. Oh my God. Ew. Sorry, need more eye bleach. Whew. Notable example is the Last Night's developer Tim Soray, who was demonized in current year -3 for saying he was against feminism and for egalitarianism and supporting Gamergate in years-old twats. They are just as sick of the clickbait and out-of-context quotes as everybody else, my source reveals. Yeah, I know. They say they have been told this in person and that this has sown mistrust between the media and game creators. And the game creators' employers, too, mind you. Because any fucking company who would fire a guy because of a Twitter outrage mob, don't feel sorry for those executives when their time comes. A lot of times the game developers, feel spoken for from the press, and that's not what they're actually thinking. They can't be open and honest about their actual opinions without something being ripped from them and spun in a way that is negative towards them if they're not on the same page with everybody else. This is why we're making our parallel industry. So this tallies with my own exchange with sources from Arcane Studios in current year -2, who said that they had to conceal their beliefs while regressive members of the team made proud declarations such as the world would be better off without white men. The situation led to unresolved tensions within the team. Yeah, that if I was working in a company and that was acceptable, where some NPC could say that, but if I disagree, I'm the one getting fired, I would actually kind of do what these guys are doing. I would bite my tongue. I wouldn't say anything. But in the background, behind the scenes, I'd be applying for new jobs. I'd just be getting ready to get out of there. And I don't even know if I'd bother giving them a 2-week notice either. I'd pull an office space. I'd just stop showing up. Like, fuck these guys. Will a rebellion rise up? What we're doing is not so much a rebellion. We're just building our own. So the existence of a clique probably won't be surprising to those who follow the industry closely. In current year -6, the leaking of an email chain called gamejornopros alerted the public to a behind-the-scenes power structure where the medium's most influential voices were dictating coverage. Yeah, I know. It was a complete coincidence that like 23 fucking articles that covered the exact same thing were published within hours of each other. Yeah, there was no collusion going on there. None at all. So jump to present day, and it appears the insider communication channels have not just been rebuilt, but made stronger. Behind the scenes, other writers are aware of what's happening, but they're afraid to speak up. Well, this is why you should be planning on exiting the industry. That's what I'd do if I was you. I think you'd be surprised at how many writers can't stand the clique in this space. Most won't say anything because they need the work, you know? Yeah, and this is, again, I understand. You do what you gotta do to put food on the table. But while you're doing this shit, while you're putting up with it, You need to realize that this industry is collapsing, and if you are remembered as part of it when it goes down, whether or not you agreed with them, you'll be viewed as one of them. So plan your exit now. I definitely stay there as long as you need to keep yourself fed and keep a roof over your head. But you better be working towards an exit. You better be working towards an alternative before it's too late. So they also add, sounds cowardly, but there's definitely a lot of fear in this space that people will get canceled for speaking out against a lot of what's going on. Now, whoa, you know what would be really funny? In case any of you guys who are in the know are listening to me right now, wouldn't it just be so fucking tragic if somebody were to leak these cliques, these group emails and DMs and shit? Wouldn't it be just absolutely tragic if evidence of this shit happened to leak with name drops as to who these people are? Oh, that would totally suck if that were to happen. So you guys can get your revenge, you know. If they fire you for wrongthink, you can drop some information on them. Because this shit goes both ways. So perhaps in time, more will be brave enough to speak out about the suffocating conformity or even to publish contrary views. But for the moment, it's about bending the knee to the clique. Or else. How the balance shifted entirely in one direction and entirely to one group is due to just numbers, as my source would say. They control the messaging, they have the influence, and they paint themselves as these moral grandstanders, and anyone that's not in line with that are pushed out to carve their own niche. And we will gladly do that. Because this industry is so fucked that who in their right minds would even want to be a part of this garbage? Now, I really feel sorry for the people who were in it and then before it turned into this garbage and now they're stuck. But I have no sympathy for any new people who are going into this industry knowing full well how it is when they had plenty of other choices of what else they could do and then complaining. No, fuck no. Nobody that's worth a shit wants to get into this industry. And I'm not unique in that opinion either. Now, I saw one of these games journalists even tweeted out, years ago when I started my position, I had multiple emails a day of people asking me how I can get into this industry. Now I'm lucky to get one or two a month. And it's because of you guys. You've sank your own fucking industry. And when it finally collapses, I'm just telling you now, you're not going to be welcome in the replacement industry. We've been watching you. We know what happens when we let you in. We're going to tell you the same thing you're telling us. Don't like it? Make your own. And that's that. That's the game journalism, the game journopros 2.0. Ooh, we're doing this again, boys. We're doing this again. Google News. Yeah, never sign a non-disclosure agreement. Oh, yeah. Yeah, dude, especially if you're already being evicted. Now, I know a lot of times they tie severance with a non-disclosure agreement. And also, to get severance, you also almost always, if not always, have to sign paperwork saying you're not going to sue them for the termination. So I would say if one of these guys were to terminate you, don't take your severance, don't sign the non-disclosure agreement, just reveal everything and sue them. That's what I'd do anyway, or I'd suggest. Yeah. Yeah, here we go again, boys. That's right, man. That is right. Alrighty, I think I saw some shekels coming in. Gonna have to get caught up there. Alright, so Gun the Legend, thank you for the 5. You reap what you sow, motherfuckers. Damn straight, man. So when these guys are turning on their own and canceling each other, do not feel sorry for them. They deserve everything they get. And Snowman0147, thank you for the 5. Will you allow people to host their own communities in your Riot IM server? If so, how much would that cost? Probably not, just because, I mean, it's not that expensive to rent out a server and host it. I mean, yeah, I don't want to be responsible for anyone else's shit, basically, but no, if you, when that eventually goes live, no, it's just going to be, it's just going to be like for Blade Devil, Raging Golden Eagle stuff. Yeah, that's what that's going to be for, but you can get web hosting for, not that much. Yeah, a couple bucks a month if you want like the cheapest of shit. But yeah, you don't want to host it from your house because then everyone will know your IP. Ah, shit. Where was I? All right, we should do a rant. And you know what? Related to what I was just talking about. Hey, what's up, everyone? Raging Golden Eagle here, having way too much fun as always. And every time I say something like, oh, all these guys who support cancel culture, I'm going to remember who they are, and if I ever see them applying for a job at the replacement industry we're building, just instant refusal. And I have all these cucks and morons coming out like, two wrongs don't make a right, you're just as bad as them, etc. Our public indoctrination system has clearly worked very well at pacifying these idiots. These morons have been trained to never fight back, even though the people that they should be fighting back against are using the very same things that they've been told are bad. But it's okay. Like, say with the government, right? Oh, no, violence is never an option. Unless when the cops use violence to suppress criminals, that's perfectly fine. But for you, violence is never an option. Never. If someone else is attacking you, you should never defend yourself because then you're bad. And I kind of look at it this way. If someone is beating your ass and then a third person comes in and starts beating the person who was beating you, and then the person who was just beating you looks at you and demands you help them because, hey, you're against beatings, right? You claimed you didn't like it when I was hitting you. Why are you just standing there letting this guy hit me? What would you do? If you answer anything but, I would just bust open a bucket of popcorn and enjoy the fucking show, then there may be something wrong with you. Or here's another one. You're minding your own business, sitting at home, and some guy kicks down your door and starts shooting at you. Do you not shoot back? Because that's the weapons they use, and if you use a gun against them too, you're just as bad as them. No. You'd have to be an idiot to legitimately believe stupid shit like this. It's actually very simple. What makes these people evil is that they initiate aggression. If you're minding your own business and someone starts shit with you, it's the starting shit with you that makes them evil. If you respond using their same tactics, you're not just as bad as them. Now, if you leave each other alone for like 10 years and then you attack them for no reason just because, then you would be just as bad as them. Imagine how wars would go. Imagine World War II if the Allies were like, we can't use machine guns because the Nazis used machine guns. If we use guns against them, we'll be just as bad as they are. Wouldn't go very well, would it? But yeah, as I kind of alluded to earlier, these are all things that people have been indoctrinated into believing through the public indoctrination system, so they will just blindly and passively accept any authority and never fight back. Oh, well, this guy has authority over me and he said this, and if I say no, he's going to beat my ass and violence is never an option. So I'm just going to complain like a little bitch, but I'm going to do what he told me to do anyway. That's my way of fighting back. Yeah, a lot of good that does. It's like with Comicsgate. OGCG, right? All they do is complain. And fuck, I fall into this too. I do a lot of complaining on this channel. But I'm also trying to be the change I want to see. Yeah, I complain about the state of entertainment and censorship, and my solution is I use the complaining to alert other people to the fact that there is a problem, but then I also am making my own to fix the problem. But that's the step these guys can never get to. They never advanced beyond just bitching. They do nothing but bitch, even after it's long apparent that whoever they're bitching to is never going to listen anyway. They keep doing it. The other guys just keep not listening, and they just repeats forever, I guess. And every single time they have a chance to actually do something, oh, I don't want to be just as bad as them. All these are just pathetic platitudes from morons who can't take context into account. They feel instead of think. And then, yeah, they just utter shit like, an eye for an eye makes the whole world blind, and then pat themselves on the back. I'm so smart. And then fart and sniff it, just like that South Park episode. Farts smell so good. Completely missing all context. They just regurgitate what they've been programmed in the public indoctrination system and feel good about themselves. That's all this is. All this fucking is. So yeah, the whole point of the public indoctrination system in the West is to churn out obedient and passive drones that worship authority figures and can't resist. Because any form of resistance that goes above and beyond retweeting something, they're not going to do. And it's actually worked very well. The government's done a very good job over the years of indoctrinating a very passive base of tax slaves with this method. So one thing I know, though, is if I were to come across one of these holier-than-thou pacifists getting beaten and begging for help, all I'm going to do is say, sorry, I don't want to be just as bad as the guy beating you. If I used violence to confront his violence to save you, I'd be just as bad as him. And I'm just going to keep on walking. Because a situation like that may be the only way they're ever going to learn. They say you defending yourself, oh, you can't do that. Oh, you're resorting to violence. You're just as bad as they are. I'm going to throw that back in their faces if they are ever in a situation where they would need violence to save them. Sorry, dude. I'm above that. I'm not going to respond to his violence with violence. Why don't you try to talk him out of beating your teeth out? See how well that works out for you. And that's all I got to say, guys. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed that quick and to the point rant, I got to say. Yeah, you're on your own. Fuck yes. Yeah, I got no... Oh, God, I hope I actually get to do that one of these days. With the same people that tried to stop me from fighting back every chance they got, and then they're begging me to help. It's like, no, sorry. I mean, you were literally telling me not to do this. I'm not going to start just because you need help now. Go fuck yourself. Yep. Yeah, you were ripping on me for using violence to defend myself when someone else initiated violence against me. I'm not going to lift a finger to help you when someone's beating your ass. I mean, I don't want to be just as bad as him. Man. Yeah, not everyone will be blind, just the bad guys. Yeah, that's right. And you see, that's why, I mean, instead of eye for an eye, just do an eye for a head. Someone takes my eye, I'll take their fucking head. That'll end the problem instantly. There's not going to be any cycle of revenge. It'll eventually escalate itself to conclusion. Oh, hey, and Gun the Legend, thank you for another 10. As TFM would say, we might need a war just to uncuck all the cucks or let them die, because you will die because you don't have any legit reason to live. Yeah, that's right, man. It's one of these days, this shit's gonna fucking happen. All of these pacifists, pacifists in general, I have a deep-seated hatred for, because they live comfortably in the first world while other people use violence on their behalf. Other people suffer on their behalf. Other people are killing and being killed on their behalf. So it's not like it's They don't realize that they live this comfortable existence because someone else is sacrificing and suffering for them. And then they get all holier than thou about it. Yeah, that is just infuriating to me. The only reason these worthless sacks of shit can live the life they do is because other people are committing violence on their behalf and having violence committed back to them. So when I see them like look down the noses at the very people to whom they owe their lifestyle, really makes me want to choke a bitch. Let's just say. And honestly, the only way they're ever going to see the error of their ways is if the people who are committing violence on their behalf just stop. Imagine if the U.S. military just looked at the general population and was like, you know what? These fuckers aren't worth fighting for. They're not worth us sacrificing ourselves for. Let's just let them fend for themselves. How long do you think these fucking pacifists would last? Yeah, they would not last a long time at all, I can guarantee. Look, we see what's happening in Europe right now. Look at how they're passively reacting to the invasion going on in Europe. That's about how it's going to end up. Man. Yeah, that's right. People take all this shit for granted and don't realize how easy they have it. I know. Yeah, all these people need to be dropped in Venezuela for a few months. And then when they come back, it's like, all right, now that you know how the real world works, you ready to stop being a fucking idiot now? Stop trying to talk down to other people when you don't know how shit works? Yeah, it would be nice. And Niels Fallpater, thank you for the 5. Never be just as bad as someone else. Be worse. When you let someone else set the bar, you are their bitch. That's true, but there are exceptions. Like, say if they set the bar and you happen to be way better at doing whatever the bar is set at. I mean, they could just hand you a victory that way. Fuck. And Lynx Bro, thank you for the 201. Eye for a head is the kind of mentality that started a war between two nations, all originating from literally one pig being accidentally killed. It's also important to know what's worth escalating and what's not. Well, for me, what's worth escalating is any infringements on your rights. Because if you let any little thing go, they will come back for more. So this is what I always say to people when they say, oh, you got to find a compromise. Okay, so let's say somebody wants to beat you to death and you don't want to be beaten to death. Do you compromise and let them beat you half to death every week? Fuck no. The only way this is going to end is if you render them incapable of fucking with you. Yeah, that is some shit that should be escalated, yeah. Man. Let's stop taking shit for granted. Yeah, that's right. That's right. It's all granted. Ooh, man. I need to play some Minecraft, speaking of that. Oh, Caribbean Wolf, thank you for the 2. I'd join in on the beating, sweet karma after all. Yeah, that's another good response to that scenario I laid out. If someone's beating your ass and then a third party comes in and starts beating their ass, you're well within your rights to join in and just, kick that fucker's teeth in while he's on the ground. Repay some favors, Or if you don't like either of the two, just sit back and watch them kick each other's heads in. Yeah, you got no obligation to help. Yeah, why do you care what two of your enemies do to each other? You got no obligation to any of them. Just sit back and enjoy the show. Just fucking enjoy it. Oh, and Saipoth, thank you for the 2. Eye for an eye keeps you from going blind and them from taking another. Yup. It's only dirty until both sides are doing it, then it's fair. If they didn't want you using it against them, they shouldn't have used it against you. I agree. Like this whole cancel culture shit. I'm not gonna lie, man. I get some mad schadenfreude when I see people who took pleasure in canceling their ideological opponents. When cancel culture gets turned on them and they lose everything, and they're crying like little bitches, expecting anyone to feel sorry for them. Oh, I laugh. So if I could be there in person, I actually would point and laugh right in their fucking face. Like, this right here is what you wanted. This right here is the environment you created. This is the bed you made for yourself. Now enjoy sleeping in it, motherfucker. You deserve everything you're getting right now. You did this to other people for years, and you thought it was the funniest shit. And now that it's being done to you, you finally have a problem with it? You finally have a problem with it? Now go fuck yourself. You deserve everything you get right now. This is the type of world you wanted. I sure as fuck hope you enjoy living in it. Because I sure as hell enjoy seeing you living in it. It's fucking hilarious. All right. Oh, hey, Toxic Man, hey, nice shilling there, yeah. Give some likes to my Comicsgate twats. Hey, actually, yeah, I tag Comicsgate in all of them, but yeah, you know, if you want to, this same image right here, if you guys want to help signal boost this, I mean, we've learned from Get Woke Go Broke that Twitter likes and retweets don't amount to sales, but it does get things into people's attention. That is true. And definitely, I'm going to put this in the chat again too. The pre-launch campaign's still up. You'll be able to get yourself some discounts if you sign up for the mailing list. They'll only be available to via email. You're going to get the links directly. Oh man, that's some good shit right here. Yeah, you get nothing, you lose. There's some classic Willy Wonka up in that bitch. That's right. Man. All right. Let me see. Wait, is there anyone we can send you over for a raid? Oh my God, so many people are streaming right now. Okay. Let me see here. All right, yeah, if you want to go watch Razor Fist take on the Democratic debate, Bladow, there you go. I'm posting that in the chat right there, so go head over there and laugh at the best pro-Trump advertisement you could possibly hope for. The Democratic debates are just awesome. Like, they're all basically saying, vote Trump, vote Trump, vote Trump. Everything they say you can replace with vote Trump. And it's probably going to be a lot less stronger of a vote Trump than if you actually heard what they were saying. It is pretty fucking hilarious, man. Oh, yeah, and that's true. Once we launch Blade Devil March 1st, which is a Sunday, and right after payday for a lot of people too, you know. Remember, backing us on day one, that'll really help us out, man. So sign up for the mailing list if you haven't. Try to back early. That'll help us get trending on Indiegogo, get some more shekels, and yeah, thanks again for hanging out. I will be seeing you again on Friday. So enjoy the rest of your week. Hopefully your guys' bosses don't troll you as much as mine does. And yeah, be back Friday. Peace out. Enjoy yourselves. You only live twice after all.